Good morning, this is Jacob Folger. I'm an artist and a sculptor, and a couple days ago I was messing around and I made a little park bench, and I got a lot of compliments on it, and a few people asked me if I wanted to make a video about it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that, but I should tell you that this is new to me, and with anything comes any kind of practice you do, things will get better. This will be the third park bench I've made, and it's probably going to be somewhat rudimentary, but you still can learn from it and use it. Before I start, I'm using Polymer clay. This is Sculpey 3. It's the brand I prefer, and I need it to get it soft and warm to my hand. And now what I'm doing is I'm just flattening it out a little bit, because in a minute I'm going to roll it. And I've got a little bottle here that I use to roll clay. There, right here. And then I am going to use one of my business cards as a guide, and I'm going to cut the slats for the bench just by doing this. And you're going to need probably four slats for this little bench. I lay the slats out on the table, and I want to kind of press them down a little bit and straighten them out. Okay, and then I'm going to decide on the length or the width of the bench, and cut off the slats so that they're all the same length, like that. There are tools that they have for cutting polymer clay, and I don't do this type of thing very often, so I have not ever picked one up. Okay, now we're going to create a template for the side of the bench, the sides of the bench. So what you do basically is just take a small piece of paper like this and decide what kind of design you want and draw it out. And then once you draw it out, cut it out. Okay, we've got the template on a little bit of clay here, and we're just going to cut it out. And we're going to make two of these. One thing that you can do that will make things easier is if you keep the blade of the knife, if you keep the blade of the knife straight up and down as you're cutting. And you're going to want to do that twice. Now once you've got your side pieces cut and everything, you can go and just smooth the edges out before you bake it, and then lay everything out on a ceramic plate that doesn't have any texture on it. And you probably shouldn't bake this much more than these little pieces like this, more than 10 to 12 minutes. Okay, I've completed the baking of my pieces, and now I'm just going around each one and just sort of cleaning it up a little bit. It's sometimes easier to do it after you bake it because it's such a small piece. These pieces are so small that it might be kind of difficult to manage the soft clay at that point. So some chapter might be a good idea. And then also, when the bench is all assembled, you can even go back and clean up some more and make things smoothed out and a little bit better. Okay, so now what I'm doing here is I've got a little bit of clay to support and hold the bench steady. So I just stick it down in there and into the clay, and all the way down to the tabletop. And then using one of the slats for the bench, I can see where to position the other side support. And you just take a few minutes and try to get this all lined up and the way you want it, and make sure that it's very sturdy. You can tighten up the clay around it if you want. And then after you've done that, you should have a plan for your slats, just so you have an idea and you can remember where they're going to go and all that. Just kind of I have that planned out a little bit. And we'll do the seat first, and then we'll flip it and do the back. I'm working here with super glue gel. I really like the gel because it makes a bead and it's not running all over the place and making a mess. I really like it a lot. That's what I recommend. And just open it up, and you probably want to do your front slat first. Here we go. And then once you've got that on the bead on there, close it, get your slat and place it on the beads, and just hold it there for about 30 seconds. And then go ahead and do your other slat. And then hold that in place. And then before you flip it to the side, give it about 10 minutes, so the just to be sure that the super glue is holding and is not going to come apart. Okay, now that you've waited a good 10 minutes for this to get kind of hard, what I recommend doing is the clay that supported the side support pieces, it would probably release a lot better if you just took a knife and just cut it away. Super glue here, and you do the top slat or the closest one to you first. Place it on and hold it down for a good 30 seconds, and then do the other slat. Let the bench cure for a good 10 minutes again for the back, so it becomes nice and solid. Okay, so when your bench is cured for a while, so the glue is good and solid, you can take a knife and go around, or light sandpaper, and just kind of clean it up a little bit. These benches are really rudimentary. It's really not my cup of tea to do things this way, or to make things like this, but I got inspired a few days ago, and I made this little green bench just to put in my own little gardens, and then I actually made another one. It turned out that the green bench was better than all the benches. Actually, it's probably better than this bench too, maybe. But it is very rough. I think it's very rough, but I think, you know, if you take some time with it and sand it down and, you know, carve it and that sort of thing, it'll be a nice little bench. And I put them in some of my gardens, and, you know, mostly I photograph my gardens. I don't sell a lot of my gardens. I just photograph them for my friends to, you know, send them out and that sort of thing. Sometimes I make videos, montage of photographs, that sort of thing. But I had put the green bench in a couple of my gardens and sent pictures out to my friends, and they really liked the bench, and I do too. So anyways, I thought I would go ahead and make the video, but I do ask that you be patient with me on this, because, you know, again, this is not really my cup of tea. I'm more of sculpting from scratch and that sort of thing than making parts and assembling them like this. This is really not my thing. But I think I should at least share it with the community here, and so people can try it for themselves. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.